7:30, you wanna,
I'm sorry about that.
Sure.
It's okay. Just bouncing all over the place.
All right.
you're,
Yeah, I can do it.
okay.
Okay.
I actually just pulled up the video and watched it on there.
Oh, Christina, I don't know everybody here because I'm just gonna introduce myself.
I'm
I don't know
sorry.
them. That's okay. Just before I
Mike,
start.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Jeremy.
Jeremy, nice to meet you.
Jeremy. Okay. And so Mike.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, maybe not
I'm
everybody does.
Kevin.
Look at me.
Kevin Foley. I don't think I've met you guys before.
Yeah.
So you're gonna take them, then you just send them to Doug?
Yep.
And then he,
No Doug tonight?
Or maybe I have
Yeah, Doug
met
has
you.
a
Did I meet you
program
once
going
up at the
tonight.
district office?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Field usage, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. I'm not in
Deb.
lacrosse anymore.
no, Debbie.
Well, I mean, I am, but I'm not.
So, I haven't heard from the others, so.
Okay.
So do a motion to open.
Motion.
Second. Okay.
A
Good.
second.
All right. And do we have any minutes from the old meeting?
The minutes were sent out,
Okay.
you can look them up on your phone, they're online.
Okay.
They're
If
sent
you
to our-
wanted to
They were
do
sent to
that.
our email.
Hmm?
I think they were sent to our email.
Were they?
The town emails probably. Yep.
So if you wanted to look at them and
Look at
approve them or
online real
not
quick,
approve
right?
them,
I wasn't here, so I'm gonna abstain from saying they were good or not. Sorry.
you already read them, I'm sure,
Yes,
at the cookout.
yes, yes, at the cookout, the freshman barbecue, which was a success. Try
Who
something,
Who
try
flipped
something.
the burgers?
Dad's,
Oh, really? How come I used to have to do it?
because nobody makes a better burger than you, Coach. You cook them just right.
You drop one down the side for the kid that's a wise guy, you pick up the grill and bring it out.
Exactly, so yeah. You give them the one.
Can't do that now, you'd have like a lawsuit or something, I don't know.
Recreation committee.
You can't open the minutes. I can, oh, there we go.
No?
Now I can. Actually smarter than the Adobe.
Those are all agendas. I'll put it off next week, till next month. How's that?
You want to read
I
it?
approve.
You got them there?
Yep.
Oh, good. So. Okay. Good. Do you need to see him too, or?
No, I just remembered I was
Okay,
supposed to
good,
ask
thank you.
something last meeting and I didn't come.
Okay, well, I approve.
I approve.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
See, I've already contributed. It was
Yeah.
worth. It was worth like
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, facilities update.
Okay, we have we have, actually Sid and I fertilized the fields. 83 bags or so of fertilizer, and they're all fertilized, and last week he had sprayed for weeds up on the 2 softball fields. A lot of clover up there.
Oh, yeah, up on
Yeah,
the hill.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's not at all happy with that amount of weeds on any one of his fields.
Mhm.
And we'd say all fields, I mean West Road and Nelson.
Yeah, we fertilized, and he will, like, what he does, say at West Road and at Nelson, he doesn't broadcast spray the weed killer. He just kinda drives around and hits the weeds, or,
Mhm.
you know, rather than spreading it when he doesn't have to, so. But yeah, I don't think he could do that up. It was just,
It was prevalent, yeah. I think he had asked for permission to go buy the stuff. Laffa paid
Yeah.
for the clover
well,
removal stuff.
yes. And I'll explain that when we hit the budget. He's beginning to do any repairs that are needed, like the gold mouths are always, it's always touch and go, so he'll repair those. And there's, even with all the rain, we've had no big concerns with the fields. It hasn't even been a discussion that we would have to close the fields. The groups have been really good about that, and the fields are in good shape. So facility-wise, we're doing well, right now. Equipment, we had a battery go in one of the utility vehicles, and because it's old, it wasn't just like you lift the seat up and change it, it's stuff that's rusted. And it needed a, starter solenoid.
Is that in the Bobcat
Yeah,
at Laffa?
that's, yeah, at the that's the Bobcat. And, we'll get into the budget, then we're gonna be fairly close with the budget. And what threw us over was the money we spent on the irrigation blocks. And the other problems we've had with irrigation, we've had some pretty significant problems. So we were hoping that we could absorb that, the amount of that blocks, the control blocks in our budget, but we're probably gonna have to go through the capital reserve fund because we cannot overspend our budget. I mean, I could overspend the budget, but then I'd get fired and finance director would be in trouble and everybody else. So you can't do that. But we've had a lot of stuff breaking. It's 20-plus years old, and it just starts to go. And that's through nobody's fault. I mean, I don't know if we've talked about the irrigation blocks before. It's the control panel down in the pump house. Kevin knows more about it and understands it. I know what it is. And when the guy was taking it off, he was saying, well, geez, it was 20 years old, or 21 years old. And the guy said, well, you did pretty well. They're only supposed to last about 10 years.
Yeah, I just replaced 10 that were 10 years old. 360,000.
Oh, boy.
Now, that one has lasted like 22 years. And we shut it down, it's damp in the pump house, and
Yeah, so we've been fortunate, but it was just at that age where
So it's coming.
yeah.
it's you know, as you get older, stuff hurts more, and that stuff hurts. Losing a battery is, and the thing with batteries now, batteries used to be able to, like, $35, then $75, and now they're 130 something or 150.
Huh.
And it's everywhere, it's not,
And then we had to do the control valve for the tanks.
yeah. The control valve, and then we
Right
had
at the end of the season.
And we
So when
had
do
the,
you-
whatchamacallit, the backflow preventer, right?
Yeah.
So,
When do you project that it's gonna be done? Or,
it's all set.
well, I mean, ready to be replaced?
With everything is good now.
That's perfect.
We've
Yeah.
replaced it all. My fear is, like, up at Laffa with the irrigation. Last year, we had a lot of problems with that. He replaced like 40 heads, which I don't understand why, until I just thought, well, they're old, so they break. And it's not a big deal to replace 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, but when you get like,
Yeah, to an
the
abundance.
stuff is just, it's old,
We're making our money back, so we haven't turned any irrigation.
I was just gonna say, if it keeps
Yeah.
raining, it's not gonna be an issue.
Yeah, haven't run anything.
And that does save us some money, and we accounted for that when we looked at the budget, because, we've had months where we've spent $3,000-4,000 on water. If it's 90, and if you don't, and you lose it, then it takes
Hard to get
forever to
back.
get the field back.
Thanks.
So, from Sid's mouth is, well, we want the kids to play on a safe surface. Okay, so that's what we have to do. So, but I think we'll be okay because we have the capital reserve fund, and I think we have about 15 grand in there. We won't spend all of that, I'm sure, but we may need a little bit of it. We tried to hold off on that because that can be carried over, and we need something big down the line, then we'd have it, so it didn't make sense to take it out of the capital reserve fund and then turn money back into the town, so. Updates from Doug. Doug can't be here, he's running a track and field program for the little guys. They have
Is that over at the high school?
yeah.
In this
Yeah.
weather,
That's
this
what-
winter,
Yeah, no, there's quite a few of them over there.
Yeah, 25,
Yeah, I was just at the high school. Looks
yeah,
very good.
it's, all, I think it's like,
Little kids.
yeah,
Yeah.
little kids,
Yep.
so.
And there was a lot of screaming and laughing going on, so they must be
Yeah.
having a good time.
That's what we want.
So, camp deadlines are approaching. The summer camp program right now is at 3:01
The 9 to 3 one, obviously.
for everybody. Yeah, that
Does that
includes-
include Voyager?
No.
Okay.
Voyager camp has 89.
Ooh, well, anybody waitlisted or is that?
Not yet. The deadlines are approaching.
Okay.
We've had to increase the staff, and that money will come out of the revolving fund because the money that we collect will go into
Right.
it, so we'll be fine with that. But I'm pleased with the numbers. I think Doug's done a great job with this. That's what the people wanted. I was hesitant. He was right, I was wrong, so
Did he hire more for?
we've had to hire more, yeah.
And you've been able to?
Yeah, because the
That's
money,
awesome.
the
No,
money,
no, no. I meant like found people.
we found them, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
Well,
physically like
I-
but finding people that the kids. I'm assuming it's all teenagers, but
Doug has like,
content.
he's kind of
we have a couple.
poached, he's got some kids
Great.
from
No,
other
that's
places.
awesome.
Yeah,
We have older kids too,
Yeah, we have older kids as camp counselors.
college kids
That's awesome.
that are really, we've had some great college kids. You know, they've just been, I think in the past 5 years, we've maybe had one or two of like, sure this is for you.
No, that's awesome.
And they know if it's not for them, they think it may be, but then it isn't. But overall, the kids have been great.
We have a good director too. Zach Simmons does a good job.
Yeah.
We have Zach Zimber and Don Hodges. Dawn's been with us for over 20,
Yeah, Don's great.
25 years. She's been
That's
doing
awesome.
this, so. Summer brochure released in the program's flag football clinic, the summer fun run, the Southern New Hampshire Playground Challenge, which is, you kind of send your stuff in other towns do the same, so if in the summer the kids get bored with the same playground, they know where the other ones are. And of course, the new ones that they go to are gonna be great, are gonna be better than anything they've ever seen before, until they go the second time, then they wanna go someplace else, so. Adult kickball and tennis lessons, grades 3 through 8, that's all been released. New options, tennis for grades 1 and 2, and tennis for adults, both are being coached by USTA instructor Tony Garone. So we're at 14 with the summer program, and the Voyager has 4 counselors plus Doug. Old Home Day, Doug and Kirsten are running that, and the theme is Join One. Celebrating the clubs, nonprofits, and organizations that support our community. The slogan is, for the cause, not the applause. Pretty catchy, huh?
Yeah.
And they have another meeting June 18th. The Old Home Day is a lot of work to get organized, so. Long-term planning. We talked with Doug, and we're out for bids. We're getting bids from people. And one guy, like, there's a guy up in Maine that wants to bid on it. So we're gonna have to get him some pictures, because I don't know where he is. I think he's north of Portland, so I don't think he wants to drive down just to look at 4 tennis courts and a basketball court. So then he'll give us some bids. And that's the beginning of it, and you know,
On what level of repair or?
yeah, and that's the other thing. He wants pictures so he can see where the level is, and you saw the ones last meeting from Vermont Tennis, where they had, you know, a whole bunch of different things, so. I don't know. But that'll be around, but that'll be next year also. Let's see. New business, I had the summer program, which we already just talked about. And unified kickball starts in 1 month at Matthew Thornton. The unified kickball is, the older kids that are now like 40-plus years old that were in the unified sports at the high school. It is probably the truest sporting event I've been to in the last 30 years.
That's great. Oh,
It is absolutely, it's unbelievable. I thought I'd go up and
My
make,
favorite sports to watch are unified.
I thought I was gonna go up and just like, okay, I'll make an appearance, make sure everything's okay. Now, I stayed after the end, you know,
Yeah,
and
it's
They have enough participants, like,
they have, there's almost as many helpers as there
okay,
are
athletes.
athletes. So all the people who were, like in high school, worked as an aide for the Olympics,
Okay,
come back and help.
okay.
Oh, nice.
And when we first started it, we were looking for a place. And I went to the president of LAFA, and I told him what we were looking for. He says, you can do it here. I said, you don't care about the dates? If we have to cancel our games, we will cancel our games and move them for these people to play. So we got them up at North School for 1 year, and they wanted to move. They made their opinion known that they wanted to move to Matthew Thornton. I thought North School was good. It was secluded, it's nice, it's
I think it's
quiet,
in rough shape up there.
it's in rough shape.
Is it buggy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
I've
don't,
heard that it's just, it's not well
Disastrous.
maintained.
so,
yeah.
yeah, it's not me, so, but they wanted to move, not because of the field, but because after the games, they go to Max for ice cream, and Max is closer to Matthew Thornton. So, call the school district, and the school district finds room, it's just an unbelievable event where,
Have you been to the high school ones? They're so good. Basketball was my first, well, I do soccer, but basketball this year, I was like, wow, this is kind of intense.
last time I went to a basketball game, a kid from the other team was shooting, I get the rebound, I give it to him, I give it to him, I give it till the kid scored.
That's how it was.
And
It
then
was
everybody
awesome.
cheered.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
It's unbelievable. It's
well,
like
it's how
playing,
soccer.
it's like playing in your backyard.
It is awesome.
And when is it gonna be? Or was it just?
It
It's Tuesday
starts
nights,
in,
right, Coach? It's Tuesday nights,
I believe,
or is it Wednesdays? I forget.
I don't
Teddy
remember.
plays, and that's how
yeah,
he's already brought it up, he's very excited.
yeah.
If you have a minute, you definitely should go check it out, it really is
Oh, cool.
Oh,
I went last year, it was really,
do you
really
go to
special.
any of the, like,
Oh, yeah.
my daughter played on soccer and basketball this year.
PJ Ward just won Athlete of the Year for
Oh, good.
Unified Sports, so they had a
She
big award for him
was,
today.
she was a helper and
Is it
it's.
Sid's neighbor, PJ?
PJ Ward, that's
He
Troy Ward's
lives,
brother.
he lives in Anthony.
Yeah,
Anthony
right off of-
neighborhood?
Off of Anthony.
Yeah, Premier.
Premier,
He's
yeah.
got Sid's
Well,
buddy.
in there.
Yeah.
He helps
Okay.
Sid, so,
He's the man.
No,
He's the man. He just won MVP for Unified
he
Sports.
killed it in basketball
Did a great
and
job.
soccer, but.
so. The new town manager has started. I met him, and I said, you're not gonna quit. You can't quit. I don't end up back in there. And he chuckled, and he's doing great. I got an email today, that he wants to tour all of our facilities and see what's going on and familiarize himself with all of the,
Nice.
so I'll take him, out, start up at Nelson Road and take him over to Laffer and do some walking and explain everything to him so he understands how it developed and how it went from, 2 fields to, what do you got, 9 now?
I think it's more than that, to be honest with you.
10?
Yeah, something like that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Just keep shoving them in corners.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'll take him up and I'll show him Nelson Road and then we'll go down to West Road and explain how all of that happened.
Nice.
So for those of you who don't know how we got West Road, the first fields 1 through 3, 1, 2, and 3, that'd be, you go up the long driveway. That used to be Continental's land and they were using it to, it was a gravel pit for them. In order to have the gravel pit, they were selling wash bank run or whatever they call wash bank run, I think, I don't know. So they dug out a pond, so they had plenty of water, and when they're done, they have to reclaim it, and they gave us the land. So, and then the other where the other four fields are, that was Brock's site, and the town had, money from impact fees, and the town bought that land, and then the fields got built, so. And then soccer has built the concession stand, the garage, you guys got a storage area, and all of that, so it's
And
like,
scoreboards, which
and
were great
scoreboards
until
just
they
went up.
broke them.
How were those met
Well,
with, did they work?
yes, for girls, we didn't have a ton of home games. And something broke on one of the controllers I heard already. I was like, oh, I think like user kind of error. They are loud. Yeah, until
Really?
you know, oh yeah, the quarters sound like crazy sirens. So your first time you're looking around, but I'll be honest, they were awesome and we had a lot of help. I'm not on the board anymore, but we put in some money, but Dunk sponsored a board. Bob had Sid and they did stuff and put them up. It really, like, we had just town people, a lot of people step up and donate to get those up. So that was awesome.
People donate a lot of stuff very quietly.
There's a lot of donations that were, right at cost, right? Which is still a huge donation for us, like the
Yeah.
electrical and stuff, and but they're awesome.
That happens all the time, and most of the people don't want anybody to know about it. You know, the Continental's done stuff for us, and they said the only rule is don't tell anybody. So, and it does happen, but you can't go to them too often, and the people do help out, especially with the kids. You
I've
know.
told parents too. I don't think people realize that the youth sports will scholarship kids in, right? People don't think about that. I'm like, money should never be a reason that kids don't play a
Right.
sport. And I'm like, everyone I've talked to has always said, yes, if your kid wants to play, we'll find a way.
Yep.
So people don't like to ask for help, but usually there are signs of like, hey, can I do a payment plan or let me pay you later? And that's usually your indication to be like, you know what, you're good. Just sign your kid up and we're good, you know? And so like, you try to get spread the word, but like everybody, even the organizations step up for
Yeah,
families.
yeah,
So
and I don't know, I've stopped asking how many kids have you scholarship. And when I first started, I asked because I wanted to get them into the thing of, because mom and dad are having a tough time, doesn't mean this kid should miss playing, you know, and
I don't know about, will football, do they own all their equipment?
Yeah,
Like
but we have,
Wildcats?
Wildcats own everything too, but yeah, no, they're,
Lacrosse doesn't, but we've even, like, I've done things where we found it, we've asked people to donate and bought it, because unfortunately lacrosse is an expensive sport that you buy your own stuff for.
well, and they outgrow it.
And they outgrow it very fast.
Just the
but-
cleats, what's a pair of cleats cost for a
Over
kid?
$100.
yeah, it's expensive.
I
As
just
you know,
bought
but
some
for-
that aren't gonna fit next year, he's worn them twice, so it's great.
Football always finds the way to, I mean, it's $400 to play for the Wildcats, so I mean, but they'll scholarship it.
We're
anyway, they have to.
$250, so.
We used to have a box of cleats when I was coaching.
I have a whole bunch of cleats right now, I don't know what to do
You would take
with.
out the decent ones and like put them aside, so.
Yeah.
Because what had happened during the year, a kid has got cleats, he's all set, and then he grows, he blows them out or whatever, and
Then you can't find them though, that's another issue, is the store stops selling them halfway through the
Yes.
season. That's our biggest issue, is they're done, if you don't
High
get them at
school-
the beginning,
The
you're
high
out.
school team does hand out cleats that they need to and make sure that anything,
we got a big donation from,
Ryan Griffin,
no, not Ryan Griffin. Yeah, Ryan Griffin did give cleats to everybody one year,
yeah,
outstanding. But the guy that coached with us, he worked for Under Armour or something.
yeah,
So they were moving and they had a bunch of cleats, like 2 boxes of cleats. So Coach Lozon called me and said, hey, can you get over to the storage place over in Merrimack? They're cleaning out and they're gonna throw them out. So I think for like 4 years, we were giving them out to kids who needed them, you know?
same thing, we try to find, I mean,
You just try to, well, I mean, I'm just
Money
saying it
shouldn't-
because
money shouldn't be an
most
issue.
people, like, you don't, I was talking to a parent recently and I was like, scholarship, and like, if your kids play other sports, if you ever need help, just send an email to that president, they won't say anything, well, I'm assuming most
No,
are,
they
because
won't.
that they're gonna just be like, yep, you're good.
And
So,
that's the way it should be.
right, so there's my
And that's,
PSA to all parents, like,
yep.
it's okay to ask for
So-
help.
So I will take the new town manager around, show him everything, and I talked with him this morning. Called him at 8:32 and he answered the phone. And that was good, and it's like, I thought I was gonna have to leave, but he's right, I think it's a good hire, so. Just a little political advertisement there, I think he's good, but
Awesome.
he knows his stuff.
Perfect.
So, and that's all that I have,
I have a question that somebody sent me
okay?
2 meetings ago, so. And it relates to summer, maybe the summer, but all around. They were just curious because they're involved in high school booster stuff, and a lot of, high school will run clinics to raise money for their programs. But they kept seeing this like 22:6 sports group mentioned in our town rec programs.
22 what?
22:6. Is there so it's like outsourcing? It's a faith-based program, and I went and I saw it on there. I was hoping Doug would be here. So they ran a basketball clinic. They're running a flag football over the summer at
Yes,
West
okay,
Road.
okay,
That
gotcha. Yeah,
I'm just curious, and
The
I mean,
guy-
I'm not involved in the person I was talking to is not in either of those sports.
Yeah.
But they were more just curious, like, we're planning on running something because we are trying to raise money and have our high school athletes do it. Are we talking to the Recs, like the other groups about that in case we, if the town people wanted to run something or are planning on, I guess how it all happened, like how are we bringing these outside in versus using internal, because I know Wildcats does flag stuff too. Are you on Wildcats? I'm just assuming you are saying it and I don't even know.
It's okay.
the guy who runs that he's a very religious person, there's
Yes.
no religious overtones to.
It's not really about, it wasn't even, that wasn't the issue, it was more money.
This guy the guy's pretty good. So, he's running programs at a very inexpensive price for the kids in town. So, I haven't heard anything from any of the booster clubs.
It was just
Yeah.
more curiosity, like,
Yeah,
They do
How was
adult
that?
stuff too.
how did that all, is it gonna impact, say, another organization? Like, if somebody came in from lacrosse, I could see either the high school or them being like, wait a minute. we
usually
would do
the
something.
coaches are given first priority.
Okay, that was my question, like, just making sure that we're,
Yeah, the
If
coaches,
somebody wanted
the coaches
to.
are given priority, and then when there's gaps, Doug is filled in,
okay,
like with the tennis. Okay, the tennis guy's outstanding. And,
are these to Londonderry kids only, or can anyone?
no, other kids can come in. And for the camps, other kids can come in. We haven't,
I was just, again, I'm not
No,
against
so
it,
if a
I'm just
kid-
asking.
if you're doing a high school,
When it's booster club related in the high school, it's Londonderry only.
Usually, yeah.
yeah, if you're doing a high school football program, that's a little different than doing like a,
We did a girls lacrosse, Lila and the girls boosters did something.
like a like if you're doing a 10 through 12 girls lacrosse program, what do you bring in kids from outside? That's fine. But if you're doing if Coach Slater's going to be out there teaching them their offense,
Right.
you may not want to have the.
Yeah, you're not gonna
kicking
want,
kids
no,
there. Yeah.
exactly. No, it was just more a question from this person there. She's like, why are we doing this when, we just surprised, like, would Wildcats want
I don't
to
know why
run over these
I
people?
don't
I
know.
don't know.
The Wildcats usually hook up with what Jimmy's doing anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's so many camps, especially for the Wildcat side of things. That,
It doesn't matter.
I mean,
It's
like there's
different.
Drake, like
Obviously,
Drake,
I'm
like Drake
speaking of more
Mays.
smaller sports that
No.
are trying to raise money.
No, absolutely. Like Drake May's coming in, for example.
Right.
He's running a clinic here. That's for ages, I think it's 6 to 16. That doesn't affect anything that the high school and the Wildcats are going to do. Like that's Drake coming in and just using our facilities. So
The reason we started doing these camps, to give the history behind it, look, my son is in his 50s now. When he was 12 or 13, we sent him to a basketball camp, Tommy Heinsohn's camp at SNU. And it was a big camp. It cost at the time, $300. And Tommy Heinsohn showed up. Hey, nice to see you guys. Have a great, keep shooting, keep working at it. Nice to see you. And walked out, we got coaches here that can do a better job than that. So that's how it started, and it just built so that you get, like Brent runs the baseball camp, and he has like a ton of kids that show up, even though a lot of them, their season's over, and basketball coaches and whatnot, so that's,
Basketball camp's unbelievable, that's 2 weeks.
And you wanna fill in 8 or 10 weeks, so there's plenty of openings.
And a lot of the high school coaches do like they talk, so when we have our camp right in August, the first weekend of August, basketball has their camp the last 2 weeks of July. I
Yeah.
think Brent does his sometime in the beginning of July, so we try to stay like
he
said,
does
try to
his right,
stretch-
he'll do his like in June.
So then it's right at the end of June, right? We try to stretch it out where nobody's overlapping. I think this one's more of a,
Yeah, just
like,
more of a
like
how
Ed
did
said,
it
they
come
do
about?
offer for adults too.
Yeah, so this is 22.6, is this like just a for-profit entity that just rented the fields or the locations, or is it?
Yeah, like how
It-
does,
it
are they
doesn't say-
making money off it? Like that's, you know how we talk, like,
The coaches are gonna make money off it, they're gonna make their pay to run the camp. We had a disagreement with somebody that said, well, the coaches should volunteer their time. I said, well, if they don't run the camp, they're gonna go paint the house for the summer, cause they need money. So.
but do they pay for the facilities? Like, do we charge a
No,
fee or do
we
we just
haven't
say you
charged, no,
can
we don't
just
charge
use
for
it?
the facilities.
I'm just thinking they're using our fields and we're limited in a youth
Yeah, but
program
it's
on
the
what we
kids
can
get
do.
something to do all summer long, so.
Well, soccer runs
As long as the
programs
kids are
seven,
out there.
seven,
We
several
turn
camps.
away any programs that wanna use fields, cause I know there was a flag football one that was told they couldn't use our fields and there were kids
That-
from town.
But there was also kids from out of town.
But so were these camps
They
throughout
were
the town.
trying to get LAFA too. They actually wanted us to cancel events and do their stuff up there. No, we
I'm
we
just
can't.
more if we're running a summer camp,
Oh, well,
With kids from
Londonderry
out of
won't
town.
be displaced. If there's room, then they can.
Londonderry doesn't take a step back. It's Londonderry first and then
So-
22.6.
I may get 20 to 30 calls a year, people that wanna use our fields,
yeah.
or more. And if they're not Londonderry people, the answer's gonna be no. I just got one from a,
But is this person a Londonderry person? 22.6 is not Londonderry.
no, these are people, I got a call from a guy in Georgia who wants to run a softball,
I bet he does.
I don't know, whatever you call it, college prospect
Yeah.
thing, and he's looking to use our fields.
Sure.
But no, what do they charge to go to those things?
A lot of money.
Like $500-600, $700?
Sometimes more than that.
So, I,
Oh, and I don't disagree with that. My question is, if this 22.6 is making a profit off our fields and it's not all Londonderry kids, it's all of Southern New Hampshire.
the thing is that I've told the coaches, you keep it at a much lower rate. Because this is what was happening, kids were going out of town to go to camps, and parents were complaining to me that they were paying, like I was complaining about having to pay $300 for the Tommy Heinsohn camp where they put 800 kids in the gym at one time or whatever. So we try to keep the prices low, therefore the coaches do have to make a pay, and they pay the kids that work with them. Most of the coaches will get their players and hire them for, for the week or whatever they do. I know Brent does that with baseball all the time.
So
Is it a
Do all
revenue
these-
generator for the town then?
No, the money,
Yeah.
no, the money's gonna go to the coaches and there's not a lot of money.
But, okay, so
So-
I guess what I'm saying is, I know a family in town, the husband's a coach, on the board for a flag football program. A bunch of Londonderry kids play, and they were turned away from our West Road fields. But what I'm hearing
Because
is,
that was not that team at that time, I don't believe I'm thinking of the same thing.
And
This
they
was-
may
they
not-
were-
now they're renting a facility somewhere.
Yeah, they were playing in tournaments and whatnot, it was not a Londonderry thing.
It was not an affiliate of Londonderry. They also got turned away from high school.
So, why are we bringing in this 22.6? To me, that's the same thing. That's what I'm trying to say, is they're not Londonderry.
Yeah, but you don't know about the timing either. Like, were they looking
Because
at
we're
times when the.
Well, and I don't, they were told, I don't know, but it's a question. I mean, we gotta ask, cause we're bringing these outside camps in, which
Yeah.
our kids are going to. I pay for my kids to go to camps everywhere I go. They go Tomahawks, they go Bedford. I have hockey players and lacrosse players, so the town doesn't help me with
This was a
that.
team that was getting ready to go to one of these the world championships, is what they were doing.
Right, but they're
Anyway.
Londonderry kids still, and they're Londonderry coaches, so I'm just trying to put it out
But
there that
it was not all Londonderry, there was
it's not all
only a few.
Londonderry,
There was like about 3 Londonderry kids.
but 22-6, does any of those coaches live in Londonderry?
No, because we're hiring them to run these camps.
But not just for Londonderry kid, we're hiring them, but we're not making any money, because they're keeping us.
Money is coming in, yes.
They are paying
Money
us.
is coming into our revolving fund, yes.
Oh, okay, that's what I was missing.
Yeah,
That's why I asked if it was,
Yeah.
if the
Right.
town was getting paid.
If we're getting anything
Right.
good, but if we're not,
Yeah,
then
but the-
I have a problem with it.
yeah, the coach is getting paid,
That's fine.
but we're making.
We are also getting money from that.
Yeah, yeah. yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
So do these groups come in with insurance?
They are now.
Okay,
Okay.
because I know the school district is now requiring it, and it's a heavy insurance that you gotta carry.
Heavy,
That's
heavy.
funny because they don't
It's-
cover
heavy
anything anymore if your kids
Right.
get hurt.
Yeah, there's no more being covered from recreation. That was just next.
yeah.
Next.
So all the coaches that,
Because I know that's a concern I have up there with the baseball camp in particular. If somebody gets hurt up there, who is that LAFA's responsibility? Is it the town's responsibility? Is there an insurance policy
Now
in
it's going to be
place?
now it's going to be the camper's responsibility. The clinic's responsibility.
So
So
isn't there a state law that you have to be insured to run a camp in the state of New Hampshire?
that's what I mean. So now the camp has. So for example, football has to get their own, or the summer lifting program.
it
Has to
used
get
to,
their own.
when this all started now, way back when, it was like kind of new, and it was just, well, yeah, it's part of recreation, so
Yeah.
they were under the town's umbrella.
But then we went to sanctioning, and to be sanctioned, you have to be part of a national group, and you have to carry insurance. And if LAFA can bring it in under their umbrella, then they're under the LAFA
Yeah.
insurance.
Which
Well,
you might
but-
be able to, but
We're not bringing it under there.
No,
They're
no.
just utilizing the field. That's what the
Then you
concern
need
for
to
me
guarantee
is.
that they have insurance.
They now have to get
Schools you
their own
do.
liability insurance.
School just came out this week, I think, or
Yeah,
last
so
week,
the
and
school-
said, you know, we need 3
So
million
for example,
and
at Power
5
Camp,
million.
Power
Yeah,
Camp for Michelle, she's utilizing the school's facility. However, that used to be covered under recreation because it was essentially like a summer camp. But now she has to go out there and get her own. For football camp, same thing. We have a future Lancers camp. Same thing. We have to go out there. We have to get our own. Even though we're utilizing the school's facilities, the
Yeah,
school
but is it
requires
under
it.
Wildcats?
No.
well, I guess
Because
that's my point. If you're putting them at Westfield
it could be if
or
you
at
up your
LAFA,
if you change your policy.
If we allow the
require-
Wildcats to put it on, but then we don't control it. You get what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
football, like the high school football coaches are putting it on, but we're not covered through that. So now we have to go.
you know, to be clear, I agree with the insurance being necessary. I think it's
Absolutely.
always been a big risk. I just think that we as
Find
the
out what your
town should be
insurance
doing the
covers
same
though.
thing.
To be honest with you, we're
The
actually
school
we're
doesn't cover
no,
anything anymore.
we're-
I had 2 kids that got really hurt this year.
we're in talks right now with an insurance agency because we have to find
There's a
out.
really good one, Fairway Underwriters, that has done a lot in baseball, softball. They do quite a bit.
Yeah, we
Ryan
What do they-
Calder. Actually, the tournaments that we host here through FPN, we have a separate policy for those tournaments. we
What
host.
did that cost?
I did 2 tournaments, and I think it was $1,000 or something.
yeah no they're hefty.
We
It
did.
changes your price.
Yeah, but if you have 300 kids,
Yeah, that's
they
not
pay
bad.
$3
No,
a
it-
piece.
For what?
No, absolutely, but
It's gotta
like
be
for
part of the
like
fee.
Michelle's already. I'm just thinking Lancer Power, for example.
What is that gonna cover?
Lancer Power's insurance policy? I'd have to talk to her. I mean, I think
Probably just
Is it just
liability.
liability, so
liability.
only if you're liable?
It's just
Not-
going to be,
not
if they-
medical.
whoever's gonna sue
Yeah,
is going
exactly.
after the deepest pocket.
Yep.
And so you kinda wanna protect, my thing now is, we have to protect the
So,
town.
the schools just recently changed. This year,
no,
or the
change.
year last year. Within 2 years, they just changed.
We were
It
just
changed-
asked
it changed a
this
week ago.
Yeah.
No, they changed before, the school district as a whole
Oh, from
just changed the way they did their policies.
Oh, yeah,
And I
that
know
was
that
2 years
because
ago.
I have somebody that was hurt and they were covered, and I had 2 kids that got hurt this year at the school.
Yes.
One with surgery, one with a broken collarbone. Collarbone actually is covered, because of how it happened, and the
you're right. It changed last
and
year.
the surgery is not.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is now they're requiring like
Medical
to
insurance.
play, they're requiring you to have medical insurance to play.
Not
Are they
for-
offering a
Sports.
policy that you can buy?
No,
I have no idea what they're requiring,
they're
and
not offering a policy, it's on
They
Final
used
Four.
to,
it's on
Some
final
of
forms.
it, like if they would have stepped in a gopher hole because we didn't fill it, then it's under the insurance policy. If they go head to head with someone and break their arm, then it's not covered.
Yeah, coach, it changed last year. Now when you go on Final Forms, you have to upload an insurance, your insurance card, all that. They require full insurance to participate in sports now.
But the government requires everybody to have insurance.
That's-
So if you
that's
don't
their-
have
So which I,
insurance,
so people
That's
don't
their,
like such
that's their
weird-
point.
but that
But the
doesn't,
school offers insurance for kids, right? Like when you sign your kid up, you can buy,
You can buy it through
like
them,
through the
but
state or
it's
school
not.
or whatever.
And
I
it's
don't
that
know.
if they get hurt during school activities, it pays, with the exception of football and wrestling or whatever they exclude from that.
It's a slippery rope here. I think that, I know exactly what you mean. It's been a bit of a change there, because
It has been,
like Ty Miles tore his ACL. That wasn't covered by the school.
My daughter tore her MPFL
Not covered
in the
by
weight room, or not in the wrestling room, and it wasn't covered. My son broke his collarbone in the wrestling room, and it was. Well, that's because I fought that.
I was gonna say that's a different story there, I think, but which you had every right to do.
and they want to form an insurance
2 weeks
company that
apart.
would insure kids to play sports.
No, it really is, and that's good to know though that it was $1,000 for yours, because I think that's gonna be.
So, lacrosse is interesting, and I don't know how baseball works, but if our kids play like U.S. lacrosse, so we require our coaches to be U.S. lacrosse certified, and when you do that, you're paying a fee to U.S. lacrosse, which covers your coaches up to like $2 or $3 million, right? And it's stupid not to do that because that's a big policy. But so any kid that has a U.S. lacrosse membership is covered in lacrosse, technically in youth too.
well, that's why we did that in the sanctioning.
And then if you do, and then they also have a private, which shockingly enough, my daughter tore her ligament in lacrosse, and they covered it in a game. Like what your insurance doesn't cover. When I say that, your
Right.
primary insurance
Yeah,
is
it's
the
a supplement,
secondary
it's a
stuff.
supplement.
But and there's, I want to say it's a couple grand for all season, but like there's funky things with spectator. Like there's a lot that if you read it, it's kind of covered. But we were also making our board members get insurance because they're at things and not for
That's-
getting hurt, but getting sued for
Correct.
whatever.
Football's changed the same thing. It's USA
You cut
football
my kid,
now.
I'm gonna sue you.
Yeah, like just random.
Very
I'm gonna
heavy
make stuff up. Like
So
I
soccer
have
was doing that.
recommended for years that each organization get a liability
Yes.
insurance policy for their board members.
Directors and
yes,
officers.
we
And
do
Soccer was
have
doing
it.
that 20, 25 years ago. They
Yeah.
were doing that.
We go through U.S.
Smart.
lacrosse though because it's cheaper. You pay for your $60 fee.
That's
Your membership will reimburse you, and now
It's
you're
all
covered.
It's all a big pool.
Yeah.
Pool.
that's
Because now
exactly
you're
what
going
they just did.
nationwide, and it's better.
Football just did the same thing for
And they do
Wildcats.
background checks. They do
JHL.
everything. So
The
It's another
JHL
layer
league.
of protection.
It's,
Oh, the junior high league.
it's now the junior high league, but we brought everybody over. It's not that we left AYF, so now we require everybody to have USA membership to football, and then they'd be certified.
it's just smart.
Well, yeah, it's $50. It's $50. We get it reimbursed,
Yeah.
and then, but we also require them now to take a hazing class, bullying class. I mean,
Yeah.
this.
That's what
I
USA
mean, you're,
lacrosse does
you're
too.
getting 6 certifications to have to coach football
Yeah.
now. So I mean, we're for the Wildcats and for the junior high and the high school's different.
Well, and I
but-
think like the high school hockey boosters has they have to take out insurance policies for like their summer and
All
stuff.
booster
yeah.
clubs now have to take out insurance policies. That's new. as
Wasn't
well.
that a fun meeting, huh?
I actually didn't
Were you
attend
there
that.
with my husband?
Yeah, what a fun meeting.
They warned them.
I did. This whole
It
school is
stemmed from
changed. It-
Primex. It's the insurance company of the
Yeah.
school in the town that's forcing it because they don't want to pay any more than they have to, which it's fine.
Which to Kevin's
You can
point,
get policies.
everybody has or is, told to have insurance through the U.S. government. So
Yeah.
everybody does have it.
Right.
But to her point, it is.
You
You
don't
see
have
some.
it,
You see some people that have uploaded.
don't
I had a child who, when I was coaching wrestling this year, had insurance, but they don't run the scan. So you can put in an insurance
think.
card from 1990, and the system's going to take it. Well, the child didn't have insurance, so we had a bit of a problem with a broken foot. So
So
you know, what I
Where
mean,
does
so it is. The
$60
school has to figure it out there too. They have to
Yeah.
get a better database where they can. Because to your point, Coach, everybody should have liability insurance going forward.
But that's why pickleball comes in, they should have insurance. Or
Absolutely.
anybody else, they should be sanctioned and go under all
It's a
the.
pretty
rules.
dangerous
Does the
sport. A lot of people
Boardman
get injured.
softball have
Yeah.
insurance?
A lot of, like tear
Yeah.
ACLs, yeah. My
Yep.
father-in-law did that.
Everybody has to have insurance now, I believe, right?
The adult
As of-
softball leagues, the three of them, four of them, get together and they buy through somebody.
Oh, that's good, so they do it all
But
together.
as of Monday, I'm fairly certain everybody now has to have insurance.
Yeah.
The town is no longer covering anything. Correct?
It's actually though, like you said, it's not super Sadler, that's who the cross used. It's not horrible to buy.
It's not horribly expensive,
No.
but it's
No.
just,
But when you've already have a fixed price, that's a lot. The only thing is like I know you said, you make the kids pay more, but now, for example, like Power Camp has already closed,
Mhm.
and this announcement got dropped. So now you have to go back and ask for more money.
Mhm.
Now we just had a conversation about people not being able to afford it. Well, now we're running into that problem. You know what I mean? So I just feel like at some point
Planet
or not,
Fitness is free.
but at some point or another, you're taking away.
Right.
It is free, but I mean, the Power Camp I think is pretty good from a sense. Well, it is for football. I can't speak for other sports, but Power Camp does a great job for football.
I don't know how many kids she has at 500.
Yeah, she has a good chunk of the student body. That
And it's more than just conditioning, it's a lot of
a lot of things.
nutrition, flexibility stuff, so.
Preventing injuries.
Yeah.
That's her whole goal of the program.
Put herself out of a job with injuries,
I had two weeks apart.
Hmm?
I had two weeks apart. And my 2 out of my 3 kids were out of commission all spring. Injuries.
Must have been a fun household. Half the kids.
The third one we wrapped in bubble wrap.
Anything else, Coach?
Yeah.
Did you think being a mama was gonna be easy?
I was like, stop
My
getting
motion to
hurt.
adjourn.
Second,
My motion to adjourn.
Second.
very good.
Excellent.